Every dynasty begins with a spark. For the Golden State Warriors, it was Steph Curry's revolution. For the Chicago Bulls, it was Michael Jordan's fire. For the Denver Nuggets, their spark looked nothing like greatness. He was slow, he was pudgy. He was drafted during a fast food commercial. His name? Nikola Jokić. And yet, 9 years later, that same overlooked giant lifted Denver to basketball immortality. This is the untold story of how the Denver Nuggets, once dismissed as pretenders, climbed from anonymity to champions of the basketball world in 2023. The forgotten franchise Denver was an NBA outpost, a team stuck between relevance and obscurity. They weren't bad enough to bottom out, but they weren't good enough to break through. In 1976, they joined the NBA after the ABA merger. Since then, no finals appearances, no championships. Just decades of being there. They had stars: Alex English, Fat Lever, Dikembe Mutombo, Carmelo Anthony. But every run ended the same: early playoff exits, shattered hopes, or stars leaving for bigger markets. By the mid-2010s, Denver was irrelevant. But out of irrelevance comes hunger, and out of hunger comes transformation. A joker in the deck: the draft. Denver had the 41st pick. Usually, second-rounders don't matter. Most never play meaningful NBA minutes. But this time, fate intervened. In Serbia, a soft-handed center was dominating pro leagues. He didn't look like a basketball player. He looked like a guy you'd see at your local YMCA. But he had one weapon nobody else had: vision. Nikola Jokić didn't just see passé, he saw possibilities, passing lanes others never imagined, angles nobody thought existed. Denver rolled the dice. The world barely noticed. What followed would change the sport forever. Jamal Murray, the Flame. 2 years later, in 2016, Denver added a spark to their slow-burning fire. Jamal Murray, the Blue Arrow, a fearless Canadian guard who could pull up from anywhere and thrived in pressure moments. Murray wasn't just talented, he was wired differently. He thrived on competition. He believed every shot could fall, no matter how contested. Where Jokić was calm, Murray was chaos. Together, they formed basketball's oddest and deadliest partnership, building the core piece by piece. The Nuggets built a roster around their stars. Michael Porter Jr., a 6'10 sniper with limitless potential, drafted despite serious back injuries. Aaron Gordon, a high-flying forward who sacrificed personal stats to become a defensive cornerstone. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown, gritty veterans who brought toughness and championship DNA. And holding it all together was Coach Michael Malone, a no-nonsense leader who built a culture of accountability. He preached defense, ball movement, and brotherhood. The result? A team that wasn't built to sell jerseys. They were built to win, heartbreak, and hardship. But success is never linear. 2020, inside the Orlando bubble, Murray exploded, dropping 50-point games, going toe-to-toe with Donovan Mitchell in one of the greatest playoff duels ever. Denver stormed to the conference finals before falling to the Lakers. It felt like the beginning of something big. Then disaster struck. In 2021, Murray tore his ACL. Denver's heart was ripped out. Porter's back issues resurfaced. The dream was shelved. Yet through it all, Jokić carried them. In 2021 and 2022, he won back-to-back MVPs. He became the face of efficiency, the embodiment of consistency. Still, critics said, nice stats, but he can't win when it matters. 2023 was his answer. A regular season of belief. The 2022-23 Denver Nuggets didn't roar into the season with the hype of a super team. They weren't built to dominate SportsCenter highlights every night or flood social media with flash. Instead, they played a brand of basketball that was steady, deliberate, and devastatingly effective. At the center of it all was Nikola Jokić, the quiet Serbian genius. Night after night, he orchestrated the game like a maestro with a basketball baton. Nearly a triple-double every evening became his norm, not his exception. Points, rebounds, assists. He bent the game to his will with an ease that made the extraordinary look routine. Beside him, Jamal Murray finally looked like the Murray of the bubble. The devastating ACL injury that once threatened his career now felt like a distant memory. He regained his swagger, his fire, his ability to turn a close game into his personal stage. The Blue Arrow was back, and Denver knew it. Around them, the supporting cast clicked into place. Michael Porter Jr., long questioned because of his back, stretched defenses with his smooth shooting stroke. Aaron Gordon transformed into Denver's unsung hero, guarding the league's toughest wings while providing thunderous dunks and gritty defense. And Coach Michael Malone, often overlooked himself, rotated his pieces like a chess master, ensuring balance, rest, and rhythm. By the end of the regular season, Denver stood tall atop the Western Conference for the first time in franchise history. First place, best in the West. And yet, the respect never came. Analysts crowned the Warriors, the Suns, even the Lakers as contenders. The Nuggets? Nice story, but not enough. They were underestimated, again. And for Denver, that doubt wasn't a burden, it was fuel. Their belief was stronger than the headlines. The gauntlet, playoff run, round 1. Minnesota Timberwolves. Denver came out swinging. Jokić diced up Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. Murray looked reborn. The Nuggets cruised in 5 games. Round 2, Phoenix Suns now came the test. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, superstars. Scorers who could take over at any moment. But Denver wasn't intimidated. They attacked as a unit. Jokić dropped 53 in Game 4, proving he could duel with anyone. Murray's clutch shooting and Gordon's defense wore Phoenix down. Nuggets in 6. Western Conference Finals, Los Angeles Lakers. The stage was set. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Hollywood versus Denver. The NBA wanted the Lakers, but Denver wanted history. Jokić was transcendent, hitting impossible step-backs over AD. Murray erupted for 37, then 23 points in the fourth quarter of Game 2. The Nuggets didn't just beat the Lakers, they swept them. A clean 4-0. The Nuggets had arrived. The finals, Miami Heat. Miami was tough, gritty, battle-tested. Jimmy Butler had already slain Milwaukee and Boston, but Denver's size, skill, and chemistry overwhelmed them. Jokić became the first player ever to record 30-20-10 in a finals game. Murray orchestrated perfectly. Gordon locked up Miami's wings. Denver closed it in 5. The job was finished. Jokić, the reluctant superstar. When it ended, Nikola Jokić was named Finals MVP. His stats? Unprecedented. The first player ever to lead the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists. But Jokić didn't care. When reporters asked if he was excited for the parade, he shrugged. The job is done. We can go home now. That's Jokić. No social media drama, no thirst for attention. Just basketball. A man more excited about racing horses in Serbia than celebrating a title. In that moment, he became something rarer than a superstar. He became timeless. The legacy of the 2023 Nuggets. The Nuggets title wasn't just about winning. It was about rewriting the rules. They proved small market teams can rise. They proved you don't need 3 max contract superstars. They proved chemistry, patience, and loyalty can win championships. For Denver fans, it was a release decades in the making. For the NBA, it was a reminder that greatness doesn't always come from the coasts. It can come from a city a mile high, from a Serbian genius, from a Canadian gunslinger, from a team that believed. The 2023 Denver Nuggets didn't just climb the mountain. They built their own path to the summit. A forgotten franchise became unforgettable. A second-round pick became a legend. A wounded star became a warrior. A team became a brotherhood. And in the end, when confetti rained down in Denver, one truth echoed louder than any critic's doubt. The Denver Nuggets were not just champions. They were destiny fulfilled. What was your favorite moment of the Nuggets' 2023 run? Murray's clutch shots, Jokic's dominance, or sweeping LeBron's Lakers? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that bring basketball to life.